Hey, what's up, gamers? It's your boy Gold Lion. Welcome to the Save File Podcast, where, like every video game character, every gamer has an origin story to tell. And today's guest is gonna be a doozy. She's actually a full-time streamer on Mixer, not just any, what people say full-time streamer, but she's actually a partner. She's out here doing things. She mostly plays first-person shooters and battle royales because, she lives for competitive gameplay. Actually, before this, she was doing a COD tournament, so that's pretty cool. So we'll get into more of that here in a little bit. But let's just go ahead and dive right into it, ladies and gentlemen. Let me introduce you to Rachel, a.k.a. PopDemTartz. What's up, Rachel?
Hey.
Chilling.
For having me.
Of course. Again, thank you for taking the time to come out and be on this show. It's pretty dope. So tell us more about that COD tournament you were doing.
Oh, it's actually tomorrow. I was more like getting prepped. It's for the stream team that I'm part of, Epidemic. I don't know if you've heard of that. Competitive also. I play stream team as well, founder of that, co-owner of Epidemic. And, with the new COD release, 2v2, you can't not have a tournament.
Yeah. Do they have any maps coming out? I'm not really up to date with the new COD.
No, I know that there's basically leaks that there's going to be a battle royale sometime this year. But they're just right now, they're just kind of dropping random updates here and there and not too much.
They're just kind of doing their own thing.
Yeah, it kind of happens. And you're like, oh, this is a new map. Oh, they took away this map.
Yeah.
Got it.
All right. Well, let's get right into it. So explain your first experience with gaming.
Oh, my first experience with gaming. Very young. I get asked this a bit, and I think it was like Duck Hunt. It was the very, very first on the Nintendo, way back when, with you blow in the cartridges and all that good stuff to get a game to work.
Good times.
Yeah, but then outside of that, and like Mario, the earliest one I can remember would be Resident Evil.
Which one?
The very first one on I think
PlayStation 1?
It was, yeah, I watched my brothers play it mainly, and that was one of those that because it scared the crap out of me.
What? So, I mean, did you watch it or did you actually play it?
I watched it, and then they made me play it. And once,
I like how you say they made you play it.
Yes, they made me do a lot of things, and when they made me play it, it's actually a reason why I can't really play zombie games to this day. Because it was probably 5 or 6. I was pretty little, and so, but that didn't stop me. Didn't stop me from gaming, I should say.
There you go. That's what's up. All right, so the first segment we're going to get into is character creation. So a little bit of background in your life. So, Rachel, gamer tag. Why PopDemTartz? Why that? Yeah, so what's the story behind that?
So, when I was Xbox 360, then I was PlayStation 3, and then I was busy there for a while, and when I got Xbox One, it was like, all right, I'm gonna make a gamer tag. And if you know me, my humor is I like to be punny, dad jokes, all that is what I live for. And so my goal, I was like, I am gonna have a funny gamer tag. That is what I'm doing. So I sat there and I brainstormed and I thought, and just sitting there, I just opened my Xbox, signed up for Xbox Live, ready to play games. But I am 3 hours deep in this thought process of what my gamer tag is going to be. And I was because I didn't want to pay to change it either. So I'm like, this is it. And then, after all that time, I was eating a Pop-Tart at the time. And I kind of looked at it, and I know, with hip hop music, you got Pop Dem bottles and this and that. And so I was like, PopDemTartz, and it kind of made me giggle, But at that point, I still was not I didn't plan to keep it. It was this will hold me over. I will pay the $10 when I think of what I really want, So put PopDemTartz in. I think there was a reason why I did a Z instead of S, but I think the Z was just to be more I don't know, goofy, I guess, to like really play on the like pop them bottles in the club type thing, like pop them tarts,
Yeah.
to emphasize that part maybe. But that was it. And then it was temporary, totally temporary. Then as I played games, I would get random people messaging me like, "Oh my god, your name is funny," and I'm like, "Oh, thanks." Okay, I didn't know if I was the only one, because it made me chuckle. But then more and more, I got it, and I was like, all right," but I still plan to change it. Then when I
What?
started, yeah, I know. I was actually PopDemTartz 19 because PopDemTartz was taken. That's the other thing. And
Wow.
I know numbers is like not cool, like with the X's and no numbers, but I remember it was taken, which, like I said, that's weird. But I checked back randomly too to see if I could ever get rid of the numbers. But I was just like, I'll just change it. More and more compliments, kept it. And then when I started streaming, actually, probably a month before I started streaming, is I had randomly checked to see if I could get rid of the 19, and I could. I was like,
Nice.
all right, I'll change it to this. And then I remember when I started streaming, I really didn't think much would come out of it to begin with. So, the whole rebranding or changing my name, I didn't think that would be a difficult thing if I did do that.
Mhm.
And then again, more people are like, love your name, love your name. And then I'm like, and then I like was starting to get called Pop Tarts. And I realized I like those nicknames. I like Pop. And then the other thing is that I was still getting, like people appreciating the same humor. And I'm like, you know what? This is it. This is just me. I think it was one of those that maybe it had to grow, but it was me all along. Like it just defines me. Not my favorite food, but I do like Pop Tarts.
So back when you were trying to figure out so you mentioned like while you're figuring out the gamer tag, you looked at the Pop Tarts. What flavor were the Pop Tarts?
Oh gosh, I think they were brown sugar cinnamon at the time. Yeah, they were definitely brown sugar cinnamon.
Do you toast them or do you eat them straight out the package?
I eat them straight out the package.
All right.
But that's not to say that they're not good toasted. I would totally eat them, but when I eat, I'm hungry, and even that like 30 seconds, minute in the toaster is too long.
Facts. All right. Do you eat the crust or do you eat the whole thing?
Mm-hmm. Oh, the whole thing.
Okay, cool. So you're one of those. Nice.
One of those.
One of those. That's all good though. All right. So let's get deeper into this. So explain your childhood to us.
Ooh, childhood. That's fun. So my parents actually owned a golf course since I was 3 years old.
Okay.
So I didn't have the most normal childhood in the sense that I was always there. I got like my bus actually dropped me off at the golf course and not at my own house. And I was there because my parents would be working and be there doing my homework. And then it kind of turned into a bar. So I was always around a lot of adult things at a young age.
Mm-hmm.
But I loved it. I absolutely loved it. I wouldn't trade it for anything because, my parents were very trusting and they didn't shelter me from too much. So it was cool to have that kind of trust as, a little kid. And then in turn, I learned how to play Texas Hold'em at a young age. I learned how to play darts and pool and gamble and all that stuff. So, and those things come in handy later on in life. So
Yeah, for sure.
So for the most part, I grew up there. I played sports, normal thing. I was in the spelling bee, this, that, and then I played golf, of course. Played all sorts of other sports, but then I really focused on golf when I hit in high school, and that was my main sport that carried me through college as well. Got a scholarship and took on that, and then even after college, I went and played semi-pro down in Florida for a year.
Oh, well, look at you. You should put that in your bio in your mixer thing. Come on now.
Yeah. I'm just more like I could probably put in there that I golf, but I don't do it that much anymore. But I don't know. It's just kind of fun when people come in and they chat and they ask you things and they find out these things on their own rather than just being
True.
something everyone can find out from reading a couple sentences.
True. So why golf though? Like just because it was so convenient for you, or what?
It was very convenient. I don't know if there's no way I would have played golf without constantly being around it. And because I knew like my parents weren't going to be able to pay for college because even though they owned a golf course, it wasn't a big time deal. And I knew like I needed to get scholarship. And I don't know if you ever hear about it, but they always say like women's golf. There's just so many unused scholarships every year because there aren't that many women's golfers out there.
Okay.
At least back then, because I'm about to be 28, so that's 10 years ago. And at the time I'm hearing all this, that would have been 15 years ago. So it's so weird to say. Oh my God, it makes me feel so old.
Yeah, I'm 29, so yeah, it sucks sometimes.
Yeah. So yeah, that's basically why I stuck with golf, because it was, it was one of those. I loved the competitive side of golf, but it was one of those that like I don't really know. And then going through college, it was again, it's kind of like the PopDemTartz thing. Like it grew on me, and then the whole going pro thing was never even like a thought in my head till the people at my parents' golf course actually had a fundraiser golf outing to raise money, as much money to send me down to Florida and try it just, for a year and see where it goes, see if there's any potential. And can't say no. Why not? Like, gosh. And it was really something else to see like a group of people come together for me. Like they believe in me. That was something. So, and then that's when I really like, I always took it serious, but I didn't realize what I would be without golf when I went through that like little time period after I graduated. And in between the golf outing, I was like, I've only known golf. Like, I don't actually know what to do. This is what I want to do. And then they did that. And I was like, oh. So then that's when, you don't know what you got till it's gone.
Exactly. So, whatever happened to that career?
Well, I went down there. I did pretty well. Not anything amazing, but definitely better than I was expecting. It's so much money. It's too much money. I blew through whatever they raised, and I lived doing the bare minimum with food, and it's just between the equipment and constantly having to pay for driving range, pay for tournaments. Tournaments alone are $350 for 1 to 2 days of golf. And then not including your practice round, not including hotel, not including food. It's just you're constantly paying for something. And I asked people, while I was down there, like, oh, how do you manage? And I was starting to see like a lot of these people come from money, they have this money. And so there's nothing wrong with that. Totally. And it was relieving to know that like when I walked away from it, I didn't walk away feeling like a failure. This was almost like beyond my control, unless I won the lottery, which then why would I go play pro golf, I guess? But like, it's like one of those things that like, it just wasn't my opportunity, not the ideal situation. And I'm okay with that because, if I had everything given to me and, everything, not a worry, and couldn't make it, then that I would feel a lot worse. So I could walk away from it with some dignity, I guess.
Of course. Okay.
And I gave it a shot. So.
Yeah, that's really all that matters. Like you actually went down there and tried it out. But yeah, that's dope that everybody came together and helped you do what you wanted to do down there. So you walked away from golf. What came next?
So the next thing was, all right, my degree. Let's see what I can do with that. I got a degree in forensic chemistry.
Ooh.
So so it was that was more of the lab work, which is what I thought, I would lean towards if golf didn't work out. But when I came back, I actually got with the local police station in Huntington, West Virginia. That's where Marshall University. I don't know if I said all that, but I went to Marshall University. And And so I went back there because I knew people I could stay with till I got on my own feet. And I went with the police department and just said, "Do you have any sort of volunteer anything position that like I could just, I needed experience at this point. I got the degree and I can't just like volunteer, intern anything with a lab. It's more like I got to get the job in the lab, but they want experience." So I'm like, the only other experience I could get in would be the criminal justice aspect. I'll go to the police department.
Mm-hmm.
And they did in their forensic unit, but that's crime scene. That's more of the in field type stuff. And I was like, well, I mean, I did learn about that, and I bet this kind of knowledge, even though it's not laboratory, you can always apply it in the sense of where your samples are coming from or how it was collected because you actually did it. So I was thinking this would look good, and they said, yeah, you can stop by. They thought it would be like a 2-week thing. They have a lot of people who do this kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, perfect. And then in the meantime, I was just going to find any sort of job, babysitting, house cleaning. Like I did a lot of Craigslist house cleaning. And then I would go into the station and then like go clean a house or something. And then actually the first day I showed up, one of their team members, a civilian position too, had another job opportunity and was leaving. Now I didn't think anything of it, wasn't like, oh, yes, perfect. Yeah. It was just more like, oh, sucks that you're not going to be around for the long haul. But as I was there it ended up being a year. I was volunteering, and not just the 2 weeks. And yeah, it was one of those things that it's unfortunate, but I went there. I got to see a lot of crime scenes. And I realized I don't want to be in the lab. I want to do crime scenes.
Okay.
This is what I want to do. Pays less, but I didn't care. Like, this is something that I really felt. And it's so morbid to say, because the nature of the work, it's like, it's hard to say, like, this is what I was supposed to do. But ultimately, like, I knew it was something that I could do 20 years from now and not be bored of, not be something that I felt wasn't fulfilling. I was making an impact kind of thing. Mm-hmm. And so I stuck around, whatever. When they opened that civilian position, they basically said, "We want you. Please apply." They were gonna, help me through the whole process because they wanted me. And they basically were training me for the job at that point. And then that's when all the politics of it, whatever. The mayor at the time said, we're going to hold off on filling this position to save money on that salary because, save money where you can. And I was like, all right, fine, whatever. Because the way he implied it was that job was going to be coming back just at a later date. Save some money while you can, but they're not going to be able to be without that position for too long because the other people will be overworked, basically. Mm-hmm. So I was like, and because I was only doing these, one-time jobs, I called my parents. I said, "Mom, Dad, I have this job opportunity. It's going to be later that it'll be available, but if I'm going to keep doing this here, and then, if I need help, are you willing to support, send money kind of thing?" And they said, yeah, because it would only be about, I think at the time it was like July. And he said that it would be back around October. So I'm like, it's not a hard price to pay. I'll still be here getting experience. Long story short, October rolls around. Nope. November rolls around. Nope. And the whole time they're keeping me in the loop. They're like, he's not saying anything that makes us think we don't want to drag you on. We don't want to keep you from other job opportunities. I said, no, that's fine. Cause I know this is what I want to do. Then December rolls around. and the mayor cut 26 or maybe it was like, no, it was 35 or 40 firemen and police officers in all civilian positions. So
Wow.
even though that civilian position wasn't filled, it wasn't being filled. I think they kept two civilian positions, and it was like in IT, like the people who handled all the IT of the police department. So at that point, they're like, we don't know. We don't know if this is coming back or when. They said that no matter when it would, I would be the first person they'd call, but that I should start looking. So had another job opportunity about a month later. That's another, like, got screwed over, out of my control, frustrating as hell, kept me waiting. But, at that point, and then at this point, I was nannying. I found a steady, it was still paycheck to paycheck, paid on the spot, whatever. But
How old were you when all this was happening?
24.
Okay, 24.
Yeah. And at that point, I had a fairly steady nanny job for a neurosurgeon there, and they were awesome. Man, they were great. They paid well, and they went above and beyond, like best nannying job you could ask for. But then it was, and I did that during that, and then even after those job opportunities, I was doing that for a while. But as you know, I didn't know what I was gonna freaking do. I didn't know. I had no idea what was going on, where I was headed, what I was supposed to do. I was just always broke, always never have food. It was one of those, like, whatever, like, it's not like feel bad for me, but at the same time, like, man, seemed like everything was going against me, kind of thing. And then my brother had a friend who worked at GE Aviation in Cincinnati, Ohio. My brothers both lived in Cincinnati at the time. And he said, I can get you a job as a contractor in the aviation part. And all I heard was steady salary. Got it. So I'm in, sold. So then I moved to Cincinnati, did that, and I did that for about a year and a half. And before I turned in my 2-week notice and all that. So I did both there for a while. I did streaming and working a full-time job for about 8 months.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so let's get into that. How'd you find Mixer?
So I actually watched a lot of Twitch at work. I was really big into Overwatch at the time.
Hey.
And I'm an
Overwatch player.
PC?
Yeah, PC, yep.
Yeah. I'm literally diving into the PC world. So that's one of the games I'll definitely, hopefully rekindle my love for, I should say, because I burned that game out. And I wanted to get better at the time.
Yeah.
And I was on Twitch, watching Twitch. And I saw, and I was watching, it's, mainly PC, but I was really just watching for strats and just how to play characters better because I wanted to get better. And I remember I was watching a lot of female streamers, all played Mercy or Diva. And I'm like, come on. Because, as you could tell, I've got a lot of grit. I got a lot of competitiveness from, golf and whatnot. And growing up with two brothers, I don't want to be a healer. I want to know how to heal, but I don't want to have to main healing kind of thing. And I realized, man, you don't really see a whole lot of females
DPSing.
Yeah, DPSing and, getting aggressive and getting sweaty, so to speak.
Yeah.
Typical gamer.
Yeah.
So I decided, with Mixer, I noticed Mixer was a thing on Xbox that you just hit, broadcast, and that you could have a camera. And I was like, that's all you need. You just need a camera, and you just hit start broadcast. Got it. My whole goal was all right, hopefully I'll be able to show people what I can do, and then I'll meet people who can teach me. So like apply, I am someone that like if I do something really awesome, I would love for it to be seen, and I would love to learn at the same time and like have that. I play better with an audience kind of thing with from golf. I play better under pressure basically.
Mm-hmm.
And playing in my own living room with just maybe like a friend or two in the party, like it's not much pressure, so to speak. So yeah, and that's how it was all Overwatch there for 3 months when I first started.
Mm-hmm. So how was the growth?
It was good. It was it was it's funny because I had 2 TV trays. I had my laptop on one for chat. That was a 10-year-old laptop. And then I had my monitor and my Xbox on the other TV tray in front of my couch in the middle of my living room. And that was my setup with the camera on the monitor. So I had my couch, and then I had this. Actually, if I had turned the camera that way, I had a big tapestry right there. That was like my background.
Yeah.
And then I put a sheet over my couch because I had my grandma's couch. And it was ugly. It was so ugly. It was floral and it was terrible. And it makes my skin crawl thinking about it. So I always had something over it so that it was like a sheet, just a bed sheet. And that was it. And I remember you get people coming in, a lot of people ask to play, and let them play because why not, whatever. And then I got people that come in, have a conversation, and then they leave and they're like, oh, thanks, it was really cool to meet you. And then I started to see some people come back, and that was like cool, but I still only ever had like 3 viewers, 5 viewers. I remember the first time I hit 10 viewers, I was like, oh my God, 10 people? No way. And then after that, like I met, honestly, the pivotal point, I tell him this all the time, but I don't know if you know Awkward Tyson. He was streaming Overwatch at the time. And he, I guess, for whatever reason, was in the directory while he was streaming and saw my stream, came in, whispered me, and said, hey, I see you're towards the top of the Overwatch directory. Was wondering if you wanted to co-stream. I was like, I don't like what? That's weird. I didn't really know much about co-stream.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know much about anything. And I was like, okay, well, I'm thinking, let me go check. I go to his page real fast, and he's got a very nice, clean stream. He's got scenes. He's got music playing, because like that, I just couldn't even have music on mine. And he had a microphone. He had all overlays, alerts, all this stuff. Like it was a good stream, and he had a lot of people in there talking. And I was like, well, greedily, I'm like, well, even if this turns out to be a disaster, I'll gain a couple followers, this is networking. And then when we played though, he was awesome. Like I had a blast. It was totally like the best time ever. Fastest I've ever seen a chat move. It was great. We had so much fun. And after that, we kept in touch, and he introduced me. He was on Team Epidemic at the time. And so he's like, you should apply for this. So I was like, oh, okay, sure. And then checked out the people on the team. They seemed really awesome. And then at the time, there was another stream team he was on. He introduced me to those people. And I was like, and I would be in their stream at work and whatnot, talking to them. And basically from there, they're like, we want you to join this stream team. And I was like, okay, cool. And then I was like, okay, I know I can only be on 3, so I'm going to cool off on these stream team things. But at the same time, I didn't know what that meant or what it was going to come from it. But yeah, at that point, though, after playing with him, that's when it seemed to like take off. because I had been I guess I won't say networking, but like because I had been on Mixer and other streams, then people were stopping at my stream, and when they were stopping at my stream, we'd play, and then more and more people from their communities were coming over and showing some support, and it took off. I guess it was insane. It was insane. And then at that point, I was like, all right, I want to get on a PC. I want to stream from a PC.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
So that was the next goal, and then I got at the time I only streamed Overwatch, but I used to be before Overwatch heavy into Rocket League.
Oh,
so I was like, one random day I'm like, I'll play Rocket League, and got a lot from that. And then for the first time, and I would say probably like a year and a half. It was actually like last year at Christmas time. I got Call of Duty Black Ops 4. And I played Blackout. And so like I was late. I had played a little bit of PUBG because it was free, and like a little bit of Fortnite, but no battle royales, anything. And I got hooked on battle royales and the sweatiness.
Mm-hmm.
And then from there on out, I played Overwatch every now. I like it like weaned, I guess. Like I played it Call of Duty, Overwatch, Call of Duty, and then it was Call of Duty, Overwatch, Call of Duty, Call of Duty, Call of Duty, Overwatch, and then it was Call of Duty, Apex. It just spiraled. And then now, like I think I played Overwatch twice in the last 8 months, 9 months, or since then. Like,
disrespectful.
Twice. I know. No, but maybe it was like 4 times. Maybe 4 times.
Still.
I know. I still have love for it. Yeah. I should say on stream. I should say this on stream. I went through a small period about 4 months ago where I was grinding ranked offline, but it was 2 weeks tops. I did that.
Mm-hmm.
And I realized why. Straight away from the game.
You were playing Overwatch on Xbox?
Yeah.
What was your rank? Your SR?
The highest I ever got was 2950, I think.
Oh, so was that barely diamond, right?
Yeah, almost got to diamond.
Same. That's where I was at on PS4.
Stuck.
Yeah.
And then I think when they did the like role play, also I should say this. What killed Overwatch for me was goats.
Yes, me too.
Yeah, I stopped playing.
It got old.
So, yes, I got sick of it. And so when they rolled out the roll lock is when I was like, this is perfect.
Yeah.
And I got hooked for a little bit again, but it was the same thing as far as like grinding the ranks. Like I'd win a few and then lose. And then my DPS always stayed in mid plat, but like my heals and my tank were my heals were right on the borderline plat, and then I went on a losing streak and I was like 2400, and tank, God, that got down to like 2200. And I was like, but I started to play Zarya and it started to go up, and now I'm like a huge Zarya fan. So late to the game, but I freaking love Zarya.
No, Zarya and Roadhog are my mains. I'm a main
really?
off tank. Yep.
Yes.
Those are my people. They clutch so hard. It's amazing.
And I wish I could play Roadhog because he does, but I'm terrible.
Especially they put another piece of ammo in his gun. He got 6 rounds now. He just melds shields now, especially with the shield nerfs. It's freaking insane, dude.
Yeah.
So why?
Yeah,
so
I get wrecked by him.
What about So why battle royale? So what's up with those? I got you just hooked.
I guess it's just the, I really don't know. I think it has to do because I was always the running gunner in the old Call of Duties, but I think it was just the fact that like it was gun skill, but it was strategy because you couldn't just die and respawn right away. You had to think about certain things. And I had no idea. Like I'm someone that like when I don't know something, I gotta know it and I gotta know everything about it and I gotta be good at it and give it my all kind of thing. And so playing that, like I was such a noob. I was so far everyone because it had already been out for so long. People had been playing Fortnite, people played PUBG. So I was really late to the battle royale scene as far as knowledge goes. But I loved it because it was like a whole new I say game, yeah, but yeah, world, exactly. It was a whole new world.
Whole new world. Yeah.
It really was though. And so I had to know everything about this world because it was what I loved about other worlds before the shooting, but not just that. Like there's that enough familiar to where I didn't feel like I was lost.
Yeah.
But enough, but so much to learn. And I was like, I gotta know it all. I gotta know everything.
Still FPS, but it's like the whole battle royale brings in a whole new freaking element. Just
a whole new sweaty element.
Yeah, it's insane, dude. Holy crap. Well, damn, that's a hell of a wow, I can't talk right now. Character creation. Thanks you for sharing your story. That's dope. Of course. I never thought you'd be a pro golfer. That's dope.
Yeah, no one did.
Like, what? You were sweating in golf too? What's going on here? Jeez. All right, so next part we're going to get into is your attributes. So I'm going to go ahead with every character in a video game, they got a set of attributes. So I'm going to go ahead and name off a few characteristic traits and you rate yourself from 1 to 5, 5 being the highest.
Oh gosh, okay.
Okay. You ready?
I hope so.
Oh, okay. You're good. All right. First one's grit.
Grit. Oh, 5.
Why 5?
Because that's something I pride myself on. The competitive and the sweatiness and just zoning in. Even if there's just the smallest thing on the line, like to play for something. And I show my emotion as well. And I be my own hype man and other people's if I need to be.
Of course. Curiosity.
No, should take a step back. Is this in general or just gaming specific?
In general.
In general. It's definitely still 5 for grit because I'm competitive no matter when even if I don't need to be. Curiosity, I would say definitely 4. I definitely 3.5 to 4 because I'm an Aquarius, if that helps any, and I like to ponder all sorts of subjects, even when I don't know anything about it, just to get a little knowledge.
And if you don't know something, you want to learn it. Yeah. You're like, what is this? I gotta know.
If it interests me, there's some things that I'm like, like I want to know about it so that I am not like completely, blindsided by something. Like I could hold a conversation maybe, but I also don't like if it's something that doesn't interest me, I'm okay with walking away and knowing what I know.
Of course. All right, integrity.
Ooh. 4.
Why'd you have to think about that?
Just because I think of a million situations at once, and I feel like that's one that can be fluid because there are times where we're not perfect. So,
touche.
You can self-reflect.
Yeah, for sure.
That's what's key.
Loyalty.
Oh, definitely. Oh, I say definitely, but now I'm like, gosh. I want to go. I can do halves, right? So I could say 4.5.
You can go 4.7. It's cool. It's your show.
It's 5. It's 5 to the ones that I receive it, but it's conditional. I'm always gonna give a loyalty, but once I see I'm not receiving the same sort of loyalty, I'm not gonna just up and cut you out of my life, but you're not gonna receive the same from me, kind of thing. So 5. And it, again, fluctuates. It's always going to fluctuate.
Good answer, though. Patience.
Ooh, 5. Definitely 5.
What's the reason behind
that?
I was about to ask you, what taught you that?
Golf taught me a lot of crucial, I would guess, attributes that I am really glad to have acquired because they've come in handy quite often, and patience is one of them.
Confidence.
So, another fluctuating one. When it comes to skill, and it comes to hand-eye coordinated skill, it's pretty high up there. It's probably like 4.7.
What about with yourself?
It's like a 1.
Why?
I don't. 1 to 2. I don't know if it comes to, I think we all criticize ourselves. We're all hard on ourselves. We all have the negative self-talk. And there's just certain things about me that I have a lot. And I have a lot I have great family. I have great friends that, wouldn't let me think that, but there's certain things that it's like, it doesn't matter. Like what they say, I don't feel that. And, as I've grown up, I've learned how silly some things are, but just it's a constant battle. I think that as long as I keep fighting it, not let it win, it'll get better.
And that's all that matters, Rachel.
Mm-hmm.
Keep fighting that shit.
Yeah, grit. That's where the grit comes in.
Yeah.
Compared with myself.
Charisma.
Oh, I would say 4. I grew up around adults most of my life, and so I learned how to talk to people pretty early on, and have conversations and the small talk, and I learned a lot about communication pretty early. So I'm confident with that.
Silliness.
Oh, definitely like freaking 7. I like humor and jokes, and laughing is very important to me. Probably because I can be so serious at times, and like really get so competitive. And when you unwind after playing golf for 8 hours a day, like you don't want to just be more serious. You want to like let loose and laugh at even the dumbest things, just to laugh. So
just to get that out of you, Just
yes,
all right, get out of that character.
Such an inner child in me that it's it's definitely high.
Shyness.
Probably like 2.5. I don't think I'm that shy. I definitely have gotten less shy over the years, just because I've cared less about what people think. But there's still moments where like I would be like, I don't like, for instance, even though I'm a partner on Mixer, I don't know a whole lot of partners on Mixer because I get shy in their chats. I get shy when I'm like at another partner that I don't know. Like I get so shy to say anything. So I'm a huge like master lurker because I just enjoy the content. And then like, I don't know. So
just
shy
do
in
it.
that aspect.
Just do it.
Yeah.
Type something and just press the enter and just let it go.
I know. I'm trying to get better. I've gotten better. I've definitely met a few more, like little at a time, but I know that like that's one thing that I would say I'm definitely shy in.
Imagination.
I'd say 5.
Why?
5. Because probably stems back to the curiosity thing. Like I'm always thinking of like when I learn something new or anything, and my mind just wanders into all different directions. And I used to really be big into like drawing and stuff. So
okay.
I like to think I'm a little artistic, and so I think both those combined, I have fairly good imagination.
Open-minded.
Oh, very, very much so. 5 for sure, because had to be. I've met all walks of life. I don't know if you knew this, probably not, because I don't have it just posted everywhere, but I'm gay, so well, so to speak. It's one of those, don't really know, it's go with the flow. But I do definitely consider myself part of the LGBTQ community, and so open in that aspect of just being open to everyone. Um, and being open to every situation. I'm like, basically how I approach any situation or any statement, be it the controversial ones. Like, you'll always find me smack dab in the middle, because I see both sides of something, and I can see where they think this, or where this thought makes sense, but then so does this and so does that. And, like, I can see a blend of everything. It's not too often that I am like firm, set in stone.
Yeah.
This is the only way, kind of thing. So.
Okay. Well, thanks for sharing about your sexuality.
Yeah, no problem. I mean, it was gonna have to come up at some point. It's a big part of me, big part of everyone.
Of course. Forgiveness.
Depends on the severity.
True.
I would say that's probably like is that like a 5 means I'm the most forgiving? 1 not forgiving at all?
I don't know. What do you think?
I would say 5 would be most forgiving, but
Okay.
so I would say I'm at a 3. Because I mean, if you do something completely awful to me, even if I forgive you, I didn't really like, it's like I forgave you in the sense of, we can be civil, we can have conversations, I'll be in the same, like, I can still be around you and chat with you and have funny conversations, whatever, but I will not trust you with any part of
You
me.
won't
You will
forget.
not get, yeah, I will not forget. But I'm also not opposed to like second chances. If someone does something and they apologize sincerely and genuinely, and they do things to make up for it, like, I'm not going to hold it over their head if I truly believe that they meant what their apology, and that they were in the wrong of some sort. So one of those, like, how bad
Yeah.
do you really feel about it?
Tell me how you
So,
really feel.
yeah.
Sensitive.
Mm,
Or sensitivity. Yeah. Sensitivity.
I would say sensitive in as I'm emotional, or sense, because this could be, when I think sensitivity, I think it could either be along the lines of empathy, or it could be along of like how sensitive I am to others.
About how
Like
sensitive
what
you
they
are
say to
towards
me.
others. Yeah. That. There you go.
What they say to me,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sensitive.
So you've brought that up a couple times. What made you change that? Like, what made you say, like, finally, fuck what people think?
I stopped golfing. Because
Really?
where I grew up at a golf course, I grew up around a lot of people, a lot of adults. And so, like, because I was always there, I always had people in the golf leagues there, always asked me this and that. And like, I always had to be on my best behavior because, I'm around people, and my parents didn't want to have like a hellion child. So had to be, so I learned what to say to people and this and that. And everyone was also very, like, a lot of people they watched me grow up because they had it since I was 3 years old. And so going off to college, like, people always cared, like, what is going on? What are you doing with your life? This or that. And I'd have to explain hundreds of times, like, oh, I'm doing this, I'm doing this, I'm doing this. Same thing over and over and over. And, if you don't have if you say, oh, I dropped out of college and I'm, slinging shit at some farm, you're gonna get like that look, and I'd lived in a fairly conservative town. So, people are quick to like show, they might be like, oh, okay, that's great. But you could see initially when you say something that is not picture perfect, go to college, get a white picket fence, get married, then have kids, this, that, steady job, 9 to 5. When you go off that beaten path, they're quick to give you you can see it in their face, even though they might say, "Oh, that's great for you," but you know, the inside they're thinking like, "Whoa, what the heck happened? You fell off the wagon," kind of
Yeah,
thing.
I know exactly what you're talking about. I grew up in a small town as well.
Yeah.
And
So
there's a set structure. You don't go by it, they're gonna look at you and be like, "This person."
Exactly. And that's the thing. Like, I don't blame them. I don't blame them because that's how they grew up. That's all that they know. And you know, so much nature versus nurture, and that's the nature part. So yeah, I don't blame them for thinking that. But at the same time, like, I hated getting that feeling. And then once I stopped golfing, I didn't change who I was. This is like, they've known me my whole life. But when I saw the look that I got when people heard I stopped golfing, I was like, really? Like, wow, I thought like I deserve more credit than that. Like, overall, the person I become would outshine the fact that I'm not golfing to what you want. Because they all wanted to like say they knew a pro golfer, or you know, they all thought I could do it, or this or that. And you know, they all kind of treat me like a little tiny celebrity in my town, you know. And that stopped immediately, like immediately. And that's fine. It was fine with me, you know. I'm not like all soaking that in, but at the same time, I'm like, I didn't realize I would get treated so differently. And that really showed me that, like, wow, I spent so many years caring what all you guys think about, for it to just go down the toilet in a matter of 2 sentences. I'm not doing this anymore. I exhausted myself. I had a lot of hard nights in my own head for this. Not doing that. So
Done.
done.
Done. I'm done.
Out of here.
All right. Damn, those are good answers. Good job. I like that. Okay, so the next part, we created your character. You set yourself the attributes. So now you're out here doing some things. So you're off to your main quest. So what is the main quest that you're working on?
Main quest is to do something with my life that is fulfilling. You know, after doing something like before, when I was working at the police station, I was very fulfilled there. And then selling airplane parts, not so fulfilling. That's what I did at my old job. And doing that, like, it didn't matter how much money you would make. Not that I made good money there, but like, that was the whole plan. You'd get your foot in the door, and then you'd get a promotion, and then that's where you really would make the money, so to speak. But I never have nor wanted to do anything for money. And so, like, when I went the golf route, it wasn't about making all the money a pro golfer makes. It was about doing something with my life that was fulfilling to me, and, you know, making an impact. Because are a pro golfer, sure, you're not, when you're golfing, fulfilling anything for anyone else, but your status and who you are, you could really impact, you know, young kids or this or that. Your message will speak louder. It could resonate if they look up to you. You could really put someone on a path that they didn't know they needed to be on, or, you know, if they're straying, like, just something so little but means so much. And so that comes with that. And then, you know, when I was doing the forensics, like, finding justice, you know, someone loses a loved one, I want to be the one that can, you know, I know for me, you want to know what happens. You want to find that person that did this to your loved one, that, you know, whatever the case may be, closure. And I wanted to be able to be a part of that, giving that to them, getting bad people off the street kind of thing. And then I went and sold airplane parts. There's nothing there for me. Like, I'm not doing anything. It's a thankless job that, you know, I did well, but at the same time, it was what am I really doing for the world? You know, if anything, because it was in military aviation, the more airplane parts I sold, worse things were for that said country because if they need more parts, things are bad, and that's like kind of
So it's like a
irony.
constant reminder
Yeah,
for
and
you.
so if anything, it was like the opposite of fulfilling,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah. So basically, I want, be it if streaming has been extremely fulfilling for me, but I can't sit here and say this is what I'm going to do till the day I die, simply for the fact that doors open and doors close, and I don't want to have tunnel vision with this, and like I'm streaming till the very end. And I'll do everything I have to stream because there might be a better opportunity for me that I do find even more fulfilling, and I don't want to be closed off to that because I find this fulfilling. Like just anything could happen, and so as much as I want to stay streaming, I want to stay fulfilled. I want to make an impact in some sort of way. So
Good
that's the
answer. Awesome.
main thing.
With every side, well, with every main quest, there's always a side quest. So, what are some side quests you're working on?
Side quests, growing my channel. I wanna. I don't want. It sounds like so bad because I am very much. I was never about follower count. I've never stressed that. I don't. Like that's not something. View count, follower count. Never once stressed about it. But at the same time, I want to be able to reach to as many people as I can in any sort of way. So I want to grow my channel in that aspect, which I guess comes with followers, but not because I want to have that number. It's because I want to have that many more people that I know their story. I reach out, like I'll have in my life, that I'll learn some. I 100% think you can learn something from every single person, be it, they're the worst, most awful person in the world, you'll still be learning something. And that's just bare minimum. You're learning one thing. So the more people I reach out, the more people I have, the more people I encounter, the more stories I hear, the more I learn. Curiosity.
Yeah.
Going back to that.
Yeah.
Just in general. And then the more that like I come across, the more impact I can make with whatever I have or do going forward. So that would be small quest towards the big quest. It would be to grow my channel and to continue growing and be able to do this full time. I should say.
Yeah.
Continue doing this full time.
So,
'cause right now it's good.
how long did it take you to go from part time to full time?
So I was partner last February. It also like my lifestyle, because I kind of live a fairly minimalistic lifestyle from my time of being so freaking broke in Florida and all this stuff, that I don't have a lot of expenses that like luxuries, I should say. So my old job that I had it paid terribly. And then streaming helped keep me afloat. And I was in a relationship at the time and with someone who was unemployed. So it helped support both of us doing both of those. Unfortunately, the things end, but then after I continued to do that because I wanted to keep that person on my insurance at work. And so they had a lot of health issues, and it was still, it wasn't a bad split at all. So I still wanted to be there for them, and kind of stayed there. I stayed on there, but I could have gone full time at that point. I could have probably gone full time about 3 or 4 months earlier, but I continued for the insurance purposes. Then once I really started spreading myself a little thin, and I had some things at my job where I got screwed over, and I realized I'm doing this unfulfilling, thankless job 8 hours a day, and here's this little snippet of something that does matter to me. I think matters way more than what I do there. Only a couple hours, 3, 4, whatever. And I'm doing the one that doesn't mean anything more. That doesn't make sense to me. And so, as much as it was nice to have those few months where I had both incomes coming in, I said I never did it for the money. And as long as I can support myself and I know that I'll have food, if I need it, and I know I'll be able to take care of my bills, then I'm good. So I finally, beginning of August, was like, put my 2 weeks in, because something happened that I realized my work, all my effort is being so unappreciated. Bye.
Bye.
Mm-hmm.
Bye.
It happened like that day. I had no intention of going to work and quitting. And then that happened, and I was like, all right, I can support myself without this job. So why am I doing it? So.
Facts. Hey, congrats on that, though. That's awesome.
Thank you.
Okay.
Best decision ever.
Lucky girl. Okay, so main quest and side quest done. So you hit your final boss. What is the final boss in your story you wish to conquer?
I guess along with the fulfilling, I want a family of my own. I always wanted that. And so I would love to balance being able to stay fulfilled with supporting and raising a family. Be it, if I have to do it on my own and go to the doctor and they got to do what they got to do to give me a baby, that's fine with me. I got to adopt, that's fine with me. If I have a partner, that's fine with me, but I don't have to. This is something I've always wanted, was a family, that kids of my own, and don't really matter. It doesn't matter how it happens. And so, but at the same time, they're going to be first and come first, and I want to make sure that I can support them. And so I want to be able to have, right now I only have to worry about myself and my dog and my cat. So could I start a family right now doing full-time streaming? Hell no. But that's okay. But do I want to get to the point where I can have a family and do full-time streaming? Hell yeah. So kind of, but I'm, if I can't do that, I still want to have a family, but I'm not gonna, I'll always be seeking to be fulfilled. I'll always, because I only get one life, and I don't want to spend it being monotonous.
And you shouldn't. Of course. Okay, so you defeat your final boss, and it hits game over. What is a legacy or impact you wish to leave when somebody opens up your save file?
Oh, this is the hardest one. I would love to make a legacy where I would not be forgotten. And some sort of, I would love to go down in the history of some sort, or something that I made enough of an impact in some sort of way that I'm not gone in memory for a long time. Positive, obviously, but that's just more because I want to do something that influential, or be it the earth, be it humanity, be it one group of people, whatever it might be, because I don't get the tunnel vision. It could be anything, but ultimately, that would be ideal. But at the same time, if I could get as many people to look back on and reflect on what their experiences with me, and I somehow helped them, made them, and I know it sounds cliche. I know. You don't have to tell me. I am well aware. But like that people really felt that I helped them and that, I showed them something, be it I opened their mind to something, or I showed them something they didn't realize, like for some people, they're so used to someone in the LGBTQ community looking a certain way. They're just used to stereotypes or this or that. And I like to show them that it's, doesn't always look like that. It's not always this or that. And, and then they realize, wow, there could be gay people, bi people, this, that I come in contact with every day and I wouldn't know. Trans people, like you don't, I like my mom is one that I had to be like, Mom, look, pictures. I like constantly showing her pictures like that you wouldn't know because she just assumed she had this one image in her mind of what someone who's trans looks like. And no, that's not. Like you could be walking past so many trans people a day and have no idea because you just won't let yourself accept certain things. And by doing this and, her experiencing all this, and my mom is tough cookie and she's old fashioned, but man, did she come around and did she open her mind, open her eyes for the better. And, it's so cool to see how she treats people now and how she used to treat them before she knew all this. And that's just like my mom, So imagine I always have open DMs and I'm always going to be there for people. And so to hear people come back to me and say, you really helped me. You have no idea where I was at and what headspace I was in, and you helped me. And that's something that I like. That's invaluable to know that. Because I've had the same thing happen. People have done the same thing for me. Like they're invaluable people to me that like, and those people are people that I will never forget, and that I will tell stories to, my children, like that's because that's how much I appreciate. Those are like how do you say, just those amazing people that you come across that like really just show you something that, you didn't realize or pick you up, whatever it may be, put you right back in the right headspace. Not saying everyone has to be in the wrong headspace, but, just in any way, shape, or form, I want to make someone's life easier, better, happier, like they do for me.
Well
cliche.
said.
I know.
Said. No, it's not
that's
cliche.
That's the most marshmallow you're gonna get from me.
Nah, it's not cliche at all. It's in our human nature to want to help one another, each other, because we actually relate a lot more than what people think. And there's always somebody going through what you went through, and then you can give them the advice to get through what they're going through. So no, Rachel, it's not cliche at all. It's good. That is actually
taking away from my grit. All right.
Nah, you're good. All right, last question, Rachel. Where can people find you?
Mixer.com/PopDemTartz.
PopDemTartz.
Yes.
Anything else? Any other socials?
Instagram, PopDemTartz. Twitter, PopDemTartz. Discord, I'm very active in Discord. And then I'm working. This. You know what? I go back to that side quest question because I really would love to have a YouTube channel, and I know nothing about YouTube. So I'm working on that, and I plan 2020 at some point, not anytime soon, but 2020 I should hopefully have some sort of YouTube channel up.
Highly recommend it.
I know.
Highly recommend
it. I just don't have it. Like I don't have anything for it. So.
Okay.
Baby steps.
Of course, baby steps. Of course. Rachel, holy crap! What a story that you shared with us. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Of course. Wow. the story that you shared, I feel like a lot of people can. Like I said, you'd be surprised how many more people can relate to what it is, and I'm pretty sure after this, somebody's gonna slide in your DMs and ask for your help and all that. So again, thank you for taking the time to come on here and being very open about your story. Thank you so much. It's awesome.
I appreciate it, and I love what you're doing. I think this is awesome because it's kind of like I kind of saw it as like a time capsule thing in the sense that, like, you know, wherever the road may take me, I don't know, but I'll have my own, like, I can reflect on my own save file podcast and, you know, see where I've gotten. And I love that idea. And I think a lot of people will benefit from this.
Thank you.
You're doing awesome stuff. I appreciate it. Thank
you so much. Actually, you know, I will eventually invite my guest to a part 2. So if you're down, maybe a year from now, you know, we'd be able to look back on this. We'll do a little something.
Yeah, heck yeah.
It'd be so
Count
fun.
me in.
Of course. Okay. Again, thank you so much. This has been
you.
Awesome. Guys, ladies and gentlemen, you've seen it yourself. You could tell by Rachel's tonality and her drive is that she's really out here to help people. I mean, that's it. Just out here to help people because she's had her own journey. She's had her own main quests, side quests, character creation. And like I said, people, we're all in this together. Not to be cheesy, but we all are in this together as human beings. And everybody's had their fair share of life. No matter what you're going through, there's always someone out there that's went through what you went through. And it's what I love to say is that you are more normal than you think you are. And it's a big world out there. And a lot of us don't know what we're doing. And Rachel, you stop by her stream. She's definitely very few sunshine of life out there in the world. So please don't hesitate to go check out her mixer stream and hang out with her. Have a good old time. Maybe sometime you might catch us play some Overwatch. We'll talk about that later. Yeah. All right, guys. Again, it's your boy, Gold Lion, signing out on the Safe File Podcast. Thank you so much for making it this far. Stay happy, stay healthy, and most of all, gamers, stay golden. Peace. Hey, what's up again, gamers? Thank you so much for making it this far into the episode. Remember, if you haven't yet, subscribe to my channel, hit the notification button for more notifications for future podcast episodes, and leave something in the comments. Your thoughts, questions, concerns, anything. And also, who else do you want to see on this podcast, guys? Just let me know in the comments. Go ahead. Again, people, stay golden.